2023 has definitely been the best year of my life so far, but rather than dwell on the past, I would like to propel me as well as you, the viewer, into 2024 and the new year. The start of 2023, so the start of the year just gone, basically exactly a year ago now, I set some goals, and it was my first time ever setting goals in the first couple days of January. And admittedly, I made some mistakes when setting these goals. Most of these goals, they were only for either to be completed in 6 months' time or to be completed in a year's time. And I thought that was the kind of goals that most people set. They set goals at the start of the year to be completed when the year ended up coming around. But as the year has gone by, I've realised that I had very, very, very high expectations for myself, especially in things that I was incredibly new to, such as making more money through jobs or through in online things like this YouTube channel, as well as my fitness journey that I had basically only just started at the time of setting these goals. I was incredibly new to it all, and I had very high expectations for myself, and I haven't actually completed and met most of the goals that I set at the start of the year, and that is because I set the time frames way too long, such as 6 months and 1 year. Now, most of the goals that I actually set for 6 months to be completed by July 2023, I actually completed pretty much all of these goals. I had a goal to be able to bench 60 kilograms as well as weigh 60 kilograms by the sort of start/end of July 2023, somewhere in that month. And I completed both of those. I weighed 60 kilograms sort of at the start of July, and I was able to bench 60 kilograms at the start of July. The thing is, through summer, I ended up actually slightly decreasing in weights despite bulking because I was exercising a lot. I was doing calisthenics workouts, I was doing weightlifting workouts, I was running a bit, I was cycling a lot, and just the general sort of essence of being in summer, you sweat a lot, and so you lose weight. Despite the fact that I was eating a lot, I was probably still burning maybe 3,000 to 3,500 calories a day, and I was only going to be able to eat realistically as a child 3,000 to 3,500 calories a day. So some days there would have been days where I was in a deficit, some days I would have been in a surplus, and it just would have meant that I wouldn't have been able to consistently gain weight, and that meant that I kind of sort of stagnated. And by this point in time, I'm sort of back to 60 kilograms, and I'm back to where I was before, and I'll probably end up steadily sort of decreasing over to 70 kilograms by the time July sort of starts again. Now, I had a goal to actually be 70 kilograms by the time the year came around, but I didn't realize how hard it would actually be for someone who has my metabolic rate, quite a fast metabolism, to actually gain weight consistently, especially through summer. I really never saw that unprecedented challenge coming. I also had goals to be able to bench 100 kilograms, squat 140 kilograms, and deadlift 180 kilograms, which is an incredibly high amount to sort of set your goals and aspire towards. I didn't realize that the whole sort of fitness curve, the whole trend, it sort of starts off, yeah, you're making quick progress, and that was the kind of point in time when I was setting these goals. I thought, if I can sort of keep this linear quick progress, I'll be hitting 100 kg bench no problem by the end of the year. But what I didn't realize is that challenges happen, things come up that means that you're going to plateau and you're not going to do as well, but also the sort of general like hypertrophic muscle building as well kind of goes like that, and you don't build as much muscle in the 3rd and 4th year of your gym training compared to the 1st and 2nd year of your gym training. It's like an opposite exponent in a weird sort of way. I don't know if there's like a particular mathematical term for that, but exponential graphs, they double every single unit they go across, and it curves like this, whereas the sort of gym progression curve goes like that. Unfortunately, mine isn't exactly perfectly like this because I did have some challenges and things that I didn't foresee along the way. I didn't foresee me losing weight in summer, and when you lose weight, you often lose a lot of strength. Fortunately, I didn't lose enough weight to lose strength. I was more so, I was increasing, and then during summer I kind of plateaued on a lot of the exercises in terms of the reps I was able to do and the weight I was able to do. I barely was able to increase the weight in any of the exercises I was doing during summer, but since then, since summer's ended and like September, October, November has come around, and I've been able to get through the challenges of a college and school life and still be able to implement more gym workouts into my life, my strength has definitely been steadily increasing again. I remember from around May time to sort of the end of summer, I wasn't able to increase my deadlift weight, and I think my strength level for deadlift actually went down quite a bit, and I'm not sure if there was any particular reason for this. I may have had some sort of underlying hamstring injury, or reasons that like my hamstrings or my quads and all the muscles that were involved in deadlifts just weren't working effectively together. And as I've sort of re-implemented deadlifts into my routine, I only was able to implement deadlifts after one half term of the school year. So the first leg day I ever did after a sort of extended period of time of not working out my legs in that particular way was sort of at the start of half term, and then from that point onwards I had been able to sort of continue it on and on and on and on and on. The deadlift that I can now do for around 5 reps is around 15 kilograms more than the deadlift that I was doing in summer when I was plateauing for about the same 5 reps. So I think that's a pretty good indicator of the fact that since summer I've been able to gain weight again after losing a reasonable amount during summer, which wasn't my intention. My intention was to bulk, but I've stated the reasons why I lost weight earlier. Now, as well as having fitness goals, I also had goals towards things like grades and school grades as well. And because of the way the school year works, you often start in September and end around July time. So all the goals that I'd set in terms of grades were essentially for 6 months. And these goals were to do with the GCSE exams that I was doing and the grades that I potentially get in those exams. And I met all the sort of things that I got pretty well. I mean, there was give or take a few grades decreased, but there were also some that counteracted that and increased. So I was pretty happy with the results that I got in the end. Aside from grades, I also had some goals towards finances and making money through jobs and through hustles and all that sort of stuff. I decided that at the start of 2023, I wanted to be making £2,000 a month, which is an incredibly large amount, by sort of December 2023. And safe to say, I did not hit that goal. And it was probably around July, August that I realised I really set my expectations too high. £2,000 a month, if you equate that to a year, that is £24,000 a year. That is more than what most people who exit university and they get into entry-level jobs, that is more, or at least equivalent to what most people start earning once they leave university. And I definitely set my expectations way too high when it comes to that, because I didn't have much of an income at the time. I was only doing refereeing, getting paid in cash. I'd been doing various paper rounds for the last 3 years or so that was also a form of money making, which has sort of formed the foundation of a lot of the money that I have and a lot of the money that I have to spend, and means that I don't have to worry about big purchases and things that could go wrong and stuff like that. So that's a very, very useful thing. But I didn't exactly have any stable income at the time. I didn't have a part-time job like a lot of other people did, and I was like, if I start some sort of side hustle while having a job, while still doing refereeing on the weekends, maybe I can just about scrape £2,000 a month if I don't eat, drink, sleep, or go to school. Because that's the kind of thing with my current skill level as someone who's a child still in school that I would have to sacrifice to actually be able to earn that sort of income. And I've definitely not achieved £2,000 a month. And that's probably going to be a goal that I maybe set for December in 2 years' time, because that would be an absolutely insane achievement and I would be incredibly happy with that. But I clearly set my sights a bit too high and was a bit too ambitious because I didn't really understand the value of money, as I said earlier. But now, as I go into 2024, I'm definitely going to set my ambitions and my goals to be much more realistic, as I've been exposed to a lot of self-improvement stuff. The one way that I'm going to try to make sure that I actually meet a lot of the goals that I'm going to be setting in a couple days' time at the start of 2024 is to actually set it in 3-month intervals rather than the sort of 6 months and 1 year. And while I will still have the big goals to be done at the end of the whole year, I'll have little sort of markers, 3 months, then you have 6 months, then you have 9 months, and then obviously a year. And I want those sort of 3 months, 6 months and 9 month markers to be able to actually track my progress. And when I check my goals at the end of the 3 months, I'll be like, have I actually sort of made any progress towards the goal at the end of the year? Because what was happening for the goals that I set a year ago is until the first sort of 4 months, I didn't even fathom nor think of really any way that I was going to actually be able to make £2,000 a month until I started this YouTube channel, which I also didn't realise is a lot of hard work and will end up taking a long time to actually be able to reap the benefits and dividends of the hard work that you're doing. And so if I have these 3-month markers, hopefully I'll be able to track my progress and be able to see where I'm going and how I'm actually doing it. Am I actually going to meet this goal, and was it realistic, and all that sort of stuff. And I recommend doing that because I feel like that will be a very useful process for me, but not only for me but for you as well. Now with that, I recommend subscribing because I like this community of young tribal people who are willing to improve themselves so much more than they already have. And good luck.